Hello to Femme Fatale by Helen. I have a very, very special guest today. So, this girl is not any girl to me. This is the girl that when I was helpless, when I had absolutely no hope in life, I watched this girl, and this girl was so powerful and strong and business minded and like attractive to me. And I'm like, I want to become someone like her. Like she turned to this ideal to me. She turned to this role model for me that I would like. I want to change myself. I want to make myself someone just like her. So anyway, she turned she opened my mind of who I can turn to or what I can be in life or what I can do with myself as a woman. So she gave me all the hope and all the power that I needed in order to go through all the changes. So no more explaining who we have here. So I'm going to introduce you to my most amazing friend, Nadya Mahdavi.
Hello.
Hi. She is very quick. She is a real estate developer. She is also what would I use? What did you use?
I also manage and acquire distressed assets.
Very fancy. Very fancy. But I know her throughout this last 15 years, and then every 2-3 years she developed new businesses. She took it everything. Every 2-3 years she took everything to the next level, and I just watch her. While I was growing, I watched her growing. So it was really, really fascinating for me. So like I love to be around the girls like her because people like her give us hope, give us dream, help us with who we want to be. So I want to interview the shit out of her.
What an honor to be interviewed by Helen.
Thank you.
Definitely an honor to be here.
Nadya, you play a very, very big role in my life because, prior meeting you, like I thought all of this are dream, but you were a live person. When I watched you, you were someone tangible that I could see in front of my eyes. And then when you told, when I knew about your life story, that you're someone self-made, you are someone who came from not a rich parents. Like when I saw that you're that powerful and someone self-made, it gave me so much courage to just break what I was in and go after my dreams. So I want you to tell to the audience, how did you start? At what age you start? And give me a little bit, tell me about yourself.
I can't say exactly what age, but I want to say in my teenage years, I knew I wanted to be independent. I had very strict parents. Do I have to look in the camera?
Sometimes you can look at the camera.
Do I look at her or the camera?
Both.
I had very...
that one is your camera, and then you can look at me and the camera.
I was born in the United States, in Los Angeles, to foreign parents. And it was very difficult for me because I wasn't allowed to do a lot of things that other women were allowed to do. Mm-hmm. So at a very young age, I knew I wanted to be independent and not have to answer to anyone. Mm-hmm. I want to say around age 15.
Wow, that's so young.
I moved out on my 18th birthday from my parents' home.
Wow.
Worked about 15-hour shifts just to be able to pay rent. But I did it, and that was the beginning of my success. Now, where I am today, I never imagined at age 18 I would be there. And then I had the opportunity to enter the mortgage banking industry. And from there, I started from the very bottom. I started in the mailroom.
Wow.
And from there, I knew where I wanted to be.
Did you have the vision from right in the beginning that like this is my step one, and did you had a goal that you're achieving?
I did, but now when I look at that goal, it's a lot smaller than my goal today.
Ah. At what process your goal was getting bigger and bigger? Like,
as I reached each goal, I realized, oh, I can achieve more. And that's where I just kept setting stones and going higher and higher.
I see.
You know, when I wanted to reach a certain level, when I reached it, I said, oh, well, now what?
Now what?
What's next? So then I kept exceeding and growing.
How did you feel about yourself? Did you look at yourself as a capable person? How did you feel about yourself? How did you feel when you were 18 years old? How did you feel when you were 28 years old?
Well, I was a lot smarter at 28 than 18.
Correct. But I want to know, like, did you see yourself a capable person when you started it? Like, I want to know what kind of self-talk you had with yourself.
I think when I was 18, I was still lost. I just wanted to be free. That was my main goal.
Okay.
That's all I looked at.
Okay.
And then when I reached age 20 and I entered into mortgage banking in the corporate world, that's when I saw the potential and I saw beyond.
What age was that?
Age 20.
Age 20. Well, that
and
was
that's
just
when
2 years after.
That's when I knew I want to reach a certain level. I want to be an executive.
What did you do for your dreams?
What did I do?
Yeah.
As work-wise?
Like what did you sacrifice in order to get to your dreams?
I sacrificed time with my children. I sacrificed everything to reach my dreams. And I did. And I'm happy I did, because my 2 daughters that I sacrificed time with learned from me. Because they are now independent. They are on that same track. So
true.
It all worked out.
Which I want to mention that you have a 16 years old already in college.
17-year-old.
17 years old,
UC
sorry.
Berkeley.
Yes. Which is very fascinating because she had her high school at the age 16.
Correct. Right. Wow. On her 16th birthday. Right.
Wow.
So.
Which is because she watched you and she turned to this person.
Yes. I always told them, you're not going to sit home. You're not going to allow someone to tell you what to do. You're going to be independent women. You're not going to have babies and sit there and raise them, because your children are going to learn from you.
Yes.
And I still believe that. I do that even now. I have a 1-year-old, believe it or not. Talk about starting all over.
Oh my God. We're going to get there. We're going to get there talking about you having a 1-year-old. I'm like, that's another shocking step that you took in your life.
Well, this is a boy now.
Yeah, I know.
Those were girls. I wanted to teach them independence. And I feel like I did a good job
you did an amazing job.
And with my son, who's only 1 now, I want to teach him, when you find a woman, make sure she's independent. Not someone that's gonna sit home and not grow, because we have to grow.
We have to grow.
The day we stop growing is the day we start dying.
So true. So true. You know what I also remember from you? I remember when me and you used to party a couple of years ago, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. One thing that I loved every time I sat in your car, a life coach.
Yeah.
Like, it will play.
The default. My car defaults on life coaches.
That was like, so this is how a successful person mindset is.
Yes.
I want you to talk about mindset.
Mindset is everything. Philosophy is everything. Your philosophy is going to determine your future. Audibles for me is number 1, because how many hours in LA do you spend in the car?
Yeah, a lot.
It's nice to listen to music, and yes, sometimes I do listen to music, especially if my friends come in the car. But generally, when I'm alone in the car, I tend to put audiobooks on with my favorite mentors. My number 1 mentor is Jim Rohn. Okay. My other, I don't want to say number 2, but my other number 1.5 mentor is Zig Ziglar.
Oh, okay.
And they've taught me so much. And I was never into it. I stumbled upon Jim Rohn. I I acquired an office. I took acquisition of an office, and everything was there, all the furniture, everything. And I pulled the drawer out, and there was a ton of CDs. So I popped it in my car one day, and that's how I came across Jim Rohn.
Oh,
and he changed my life for the better.
Oh my God, it just gave me chills. You know, one thing that I want to emphasize, and is like, because I want to talk about how important it is, because first you set a goal. You set a goal that I want this kind of lifestyle. And now you need to take steps. Like, what are the steps that you are taking? Let's say you're dreaming. Okay, now, steps. How do you maintain your mindset? Like, talk about how important it is to have a role model.
It's very important.
So important, right?
Very important.
Like, how would you feel if you didn't have that role model? Do you think you will still be the person who you are today?
Honestly, I can't answer if I would be the person I am today or not. But I can tell you that when you have a role model, it shows you the possibilities.
The possibilities, absolutely.
The possibilities. And that's, so yes, I am the person I am because of that.
Yeah.
So, you know, when your parents, very modest parents.
Yeah.
You know,
correct.
Their highest point where they see might be here.
Yes.
Whereas my mentor, Jim Rohn, was beyond the sky.
Absolutely.
So, and Jim Rohn was a farm boy from Idaho.
Yeah.
Who had nothing. So that's why when you have a mentor, it shows you the possibilities in life. Mm-hmm. And as you reach a certain stage, then you realize, oh, there's even more, there's a higher stage.
Yeah.
So the sky's the limit.
Do you think there was anything that could stop you from who you wanted to become?
No.
Right.
No.
Like, I want to say this because it's important for me, for another girl to watch this and set a goal for themselves. If a man will come and offer you everything, will you sit at home?
Absolutely not. And I advise you not to either. I advise all women.
I think that's...
You have to have your independence.
You have to.
You have to. As a woman, you have to represent other women as yourself. How much better does it make you feel?
Absolutely.
As a person.
As a person, to be productive, to just think, to create your own, like, abundance, to create
absolutely.
your own life and not depending on someone. And you're in so much control and you feel so much better about yourself.
Of course you do. It's success.
I remember you were giving birth. Your C-section was what time?
It was 7:30 a.m.
7:30 a.m. And I received a text from her prior to the C-section. She had laptop at the hospital bed. She is working, finalizing deals before going to the surgery room. That's like commitment. That's goal. That's like you're committed to your life, to your work, to your surrounding. And these are the right component you need in order for success.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, people don't see the hard work. People see you driving all these fancy cars, all this fancy lifestyle, and they don't know how much sacrifice you went through in order to get there.
But it's worth it.
But it's worth it.
It's definitely worth it.
It's so
you agree with me, right?
Absolutely.
Do you agree with me?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like my identity is tied to my creation of what I do on a daily basis. I feel like this is my identity. My identity, I don't think I'm bound to sit at home and raise kids. Like, I feel like I don't want to be disrespectful to anyone, but I feel like we did not come to this world to just have that as our goal. Right. Like, we are here with this very sophisticated brain, with this like factory that we have. Like, we have to
that
do
has
something.
no limit.
That has no limit. We have to do something
that
about.
We don't even use to its potential.
Absolutely.
No matter how much we use it, it's still not the full potential.
100%. We did not use it to potential. We have maybe 5-10% the most if you're like top scientist. And like, even if we don't use that, so what we're gonna do with ourselves, right?
I agree with you.
Right?
I agree with you 100%. And on top of that, we are so lucky to live in the United States where you have all this opportunity in front of you.
Correct.
We might be in a country where it's harder.
Correct.
I'm not saying it's impossible,
Absolutely,
but
yes.
it's much more difficult. We are
Way
in a
more.
country where we can do anything.
Absolutely. Imagine
Everything.
if we were lived in Middle East.
Right.
How much challenge had you had to go through in order to do what we do here now?
Exactly.
Another subject that I was gonna talk to you about it, which, like, I think society will think because we were a woman, it was easier. Especially you're a pretty girl, and people will think it's easier to reach where you want to get. I was accused of, I'm sorry, sucking dicks in order to get where I got. And then I was like, I should be so good in sucking dicks. So if you think that's what it was, but
It's actually harder.
It's actually,
Helen, it's actually harder.
Right?
Because you're automatically judged. You know, I've been in this business a long time in my field, and in my 20s, I would roll up in a nice vehicle. I had a big house. If someone would knock at my house unknown, they would ask if my father was home. And I would laugh. I say, well, no, my father doesn't live here. This is my home.
Yeah.
Or I would tell certain people what my field was, what I do, and they would say, oh, is your father in the business? Mm-hmm. No, my father's not in the business.
Yeah.
So
actually, you're taking care of your father.
Yeah, I mean, I gladly, with love.
Yes.
But people, it's a lot harder as a woman, I feel, because you are not considered as smart, not as capable, which is the opposite.
Yeah.
It's actually the opposite, because women are fearless, they're fire.
Correct.
And they can rule the world.
Very good. So you definitely...
As long as they put the emotions aside a little.
Yeah, but actually, someone like you, like, I know you for so many years, and I know how you are so good in being in control with your emotions. Like, I dream, like, if I want to be like someone, I have never seen you being in conflict with anyone.
Well,
no,
I have been in I have been in conflict with people.
I know, but even when you are about to, like even if you're in a conflict, people, they don't even, like, people look at it in a different way, because you are a very, very good diplomat. Like, you know how to handle it with love, with so much positivity. Like, you're a true businesswoman, and, like, I'm so proud of you for how you handle all kind of negativity and all kind of stuff that is thrown at you, and then you just come out shining. Like, that's really quality that you have, that is, like,
thank you very
priceless.
much.
How do you maintain that? Like, how do you let your emotion doesn't get in the middle?
First of all, I never mix business with emotion. That's rule number one.
Very important.
That can come across the wrong way too, because sometimes people call me harsh, emotionless, which I'm not. Yeah, I have a lot of emotions.
You do.
Secondly, I think if you can resolve something without anger, I've gone both ways. I've had the other side, but I've learned.
I know you for 15 years. I don't remember you angry.
This was 20 years ago.
Okay, when you were like 12 years old.
It's easier to attract bees with honey. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
If you can. And sometimes you can't.
Correct.
And if I can't, I won't. And I don't.
That was so powerful.
So, and I use that in business a lot, because if you can resolve it, why not?
What age were you?
Sometimes it's not worth it in it's not worth the headache to fight. I used to be, believe it or not, I used to be in that fighting stage because I'm naturally a fire sign. I have like fire inside of me. But I realized that you don't win that way. Usually. Now, if it doesn't work out, then you have to take action. But if you can resolve everything, give a bee honey and...
Yeah.
So.
I need to learn from you. I need to be your assistant for some time.
Oh, real funny. That's funny.
I just want to watch you.
Can you imagine?
I just want to watch you. Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, power to you.
Oh, you're sweet. Thank you.
Someone in your level with all the level of success that you are, I want to explain like a little bit what you do. And because you work in the man's world and, majority of developers, majority of people, especially in your level, are male dominant type of business. I want you a little bit talk about what you do. What's the name of your company?
The name of my company is Global Synergy Partners. I do have a few other companies, but I'll name one for now.
You can mention a couple of them.
I also have Roost Capital. I have Image Rock. I have quite a few companies.
Okay. Can you explain?
And they all do. They all fall back into real estate. So what do I do? If you ask me in one word, broad, real estate.
Okay.
But what do I do in real estate?
Yes.
I work on distressed assets. I like to acquire them from the bank, and a lot of them are title impaired. They are the assets that you would never touch.
Okay.
Nobody wants to, not you, but
they're
the assets that people don't want to deal with because they're a headache, and they're definitely a headache. And then I have a team of attorneys and agents that work on clearing title and then reselling them to investors.
Very nice.
That's my main business. And recently I've gone into development, which I love because you're giving housing to people. I have low-income housing, which you help people. And I also have buildings in other states for low-income HUD. What else?
Which states do you have properties in?
West Virginia, Texas, California. California, Nevada. I've had properties in probably every single state except maybe one in Tennessee. I wanted to say not Tennessee. There's about 5 states I haven't had property in.
Very nice.
But other than that, I've owned property in every state.
So admiring.
Which I love because I learned so much about the different laws in different states, and more importantly, when I visited there, the people, like all the different, America has its own, every state has its own culture. You think it's amazing. And so you meet, it's one of the best things I've done. It's just spreading myself all over the country, work-wise, has taught me a lot about people.
Wow. Do you consider yourself a people person?
Oh, absolutely. I love people. People love
Wait,
me too. Do you consider me a people person? Okay, I'm just curious.
I just want
I was like, maybe I just feel that way.
No, absolutely.
I love people. I have this thing where I just want to help people.
I know you do.
I genuinely
it's
do.
Very, very genuine.
But sometimes that bites you in the ass.
Yeah.
Because some people are lost.
Will that stop you from who you are?
No. I love who I am.
Yeah.
I fucking love who I am.
So even if they backstab you?
Even if they backstab me, I'll put them away. I have boundaries. I'll say goodbye, but it's not going to stop me from the next person. Because there's many amazing people out there. And you will have the stabbers and the people that bite you.
It will never go away.
No, it won't. You just got to learn to put them away.
Correct.